Willy,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. We're live in the air. Hey, you're
It'll
back.
be it will be quieter in a minute because I'll be away from the street, from the main street.
Well, I can hear you. I can hear you quite well. I hear you quite well, Willie. As long as your internet works. Which doesn't seem like it. Okay, now we're back. How are you?
I'm walking my
Uh,
daily afternoon walk. Uh, the weather is not helping much,
well,
but
it's raining in London. What a surprise.
I know. Yeah, I know. Huh? It doesn't happen usually. It's been raining for the last 3 months, by the way. Let me see. Well, it's drizzling, not raining.
Mhm.
Uh, this is the park near my house.
Nice.
Not bad. Local park. And so I had the choice between either staying home and wait to meet my ends, or just get out, in spite of all the circumstances, including the weather.
It's a good walk. Doesn't seem very cold. It seems
It is
above
cold.
freezing.
Yeah. Let me put my gloves. So how's everything?
Good, good.
Good. I didn't make my research about the Brazil variant.
Mhm.
But we can still talk about it. I'm sure it is like some sort of the UK variant that we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Now,
variants are popping up. The one in Brazil, what they're concerned about the Brazilian one, and it showed up in the United States in Minnesota. What they're worried about is that it hit a city in Brazil that had previously had 75% uh, COVID positive city. So they thought
uh,
that this city, because it was very heavily hit with COVID-19, that it has reached herd immunity.
wow.
But now, with this new variant, they're having a lot of new cases, which is making them concerned about creating immunity from one variant that might not be sufficient for other variants. And you
But
repeat the whole cycle again and again.
my knowledge about science is very limited. But isn't since this epidemic is like from the same family of the flu epidemic, and since we do have a flu mutation every single year. That's why you take the vaccine every year. So don't you expect this COVID to keep mutating every single year? because this is
Yeah,
what happened. It's been a year now.
right. Yeah,
There,
definitely.
therefore, we have to take the vaccine over and over every year, like we do with the flu.
I'm assuming.
Right.
I'm assuming that. No, it's not. It's not as. It's not exactly the same as the flu. The flu
Right.
is
Yeah.
airborne, and also
Not as infectious.
right. The corona is more. It transfers through droplets, and it's.
Yeah.
Uh,
And they say the incubation period for the flu is only 2 days, and it is for the COVID. It's about 8 to 10 days. You can have it without any symptoms,
uh
so it's more dangerous. You can give it to others while you don't even have the symptoms.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, it is. It's not the future is not very promising in terms of. It seems like we have to learn how to live with it.
Right. Again, we have to look forward and not backwards. We
Exactly.
have to adjust to, and there hasn't been a lot of work on that. Uh, it's like everything is like temporary,
Right.
like the plastic tents that restaurants place outside. They just everything feels temporary. Everything feels is short lived. And it seems that we have to plan for more long term, really change to our lifestyle. Now there is a new virus that nobody wants to talk about that also has shown up lately. Have you heard about it?
Uh, Slightly. It is
Uh,
way like, more deadly, right?
right. It has a 75% death rate,
Right.
and people are it's getting some attention now. We won't give it attention over here in our podcast until it has enough attention in the media.
Hopefully, it won't spread.
because that's the definition of conspiracy theorists
Right.
when a blogger has an attention on something more than media. But it's lovely to hear kids playing in a
I
park.
know, especially the temperature is below zero.
Yeah.
So I like this
Although
this
particularly one
vibes.
kid is kind of obnoxious and loud. Can I address him, please? Just put the camera for him. This is from America. Can you please keep it down?
Uh,
Willie, you wrote an article in the Arab American News about Yemen and Biden. Can you
okay.
tell us a little bit about that?
Well, basically, what we saw in the prior administration with Trump, it was complete biasness, if I may say, with Saudi Arabia and Emirates against Yemen. And everybody knows that what was going on in Yemen was, sorry, uh, was uh, like, in if I may say, in sometimes in some instances, it was like pure genocide. Uh, and the Trump administration sided completely with the Saudi over 4 years, supplying with arms, ammunitions, all kind of arms, and all kind of logistic help. Along not only him, by the way, along with most of the European countries, maybe except for Germany, which pulled out maybe a couple of years ago under the influence and the pressure of the street. Uh, uh, so basically, what happened in the Biden administration with Blinken, he is known to be against this war even before he was nominated. And he is an avid supporter of the end of the war. And I think what's going to happen, he's going to push for it since he called it the worst catastrophe, human catastrophe that ever happened in the last, I don't know, 20 or 100 years or something. It is, we've never seen like such sordid famine as we see in Yemen, people dying in tens of thousands because of lack of food and because of lack of proper hygienic water. and the spread of cholera, which the world has seen the end of long time ago. And so his testimony in the Congress, I don't want to say it is that he claimed the end of the war, but it is really promising, and it is alarming for Saudi Arabia because he said we should review our help to Saudi Arabia and our supplies of arms. Okay, some critics say every new administration say that. They say we have to review the prior administration's policies towards any country. But I think it's more than that. I think this war, especially that there is no end for it, there is no winning party. It doesn't look like any winning party will take credit for it. Uh, and it seems also that the longer this war goes on, the more the Houthis are winning territories. Now they're pushing towards Aden, south. So it is also, it is for the benefit of Saudi Arabia to have a way out of this war, of course, with conserving their, as they say in Arabic, their face water, ماء الوجه. So I think it is promising. I think we will see the end of the war within a year, probably. What's your take about that?
He also used a very strong language describing the war as a something that's almost a war crime.
He almost said that, right?
Right. So
and also describing what the last administration did, what Pompeo did in the last quarter of an hour before he left, he designated the Houthis as terrorists. And everybody in the world saw that this was this was something that will lead to a political chaos, because there will be no connection whatsoever with the Houthis from the world organizations, from humanitarian organizations and the United Nations. This will block every single
and how can you negotiate with a party that you're counting as terrorists? Yeah.
Yes, and they fly to Sweden, and they have this is where they signed the peace accord with the Saudis in Sweden. So it is claimed that he did that to make it very hard on the new administration to broker any deal. And I think they will. I think this new administration, it will put a hold on that. I don't know how they're going to do this, like in the law. Like it's going to be a bit hard, right?
Yeah.
Legally, I don't think it's easy. But he claimed, he said that he will do that. That the America won't have a role in brokering any peace deal if the Houthis are terrorists. It's like calling the war endless when you call them terrorists. I don't know. I'm hopeful that this administration, Blinken I think is a good man. Most of them of the secretaries are highly learned from like Yale and Stanford, and so I think I think this is my take about it. If you're like well educated, you tend to be more humanitarian, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you're highly educated.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, definitely.
Like you tend to be, except for Kissinger.
unless you went to school in some Nazi school system. Willie, Biden and Iran, the representative he put to negotiate with Iran is a very also a positive one.
I didn't hear the news. He already designated one person to to negotiate with Iran?
Yeah, and there were some actually.
Just for Iran?
Yes, he assigned a lead
Uh-huh.
on the Iran's envoy, and it was someone that his name is Robert Malley, and he's a very progressive foreign policy expert who
Right.
served on the Obama's administration negotiating team for the Iran nuclear deal. So now he's the top envoy
Is he
by
the
Biden administration, and the hawks in the administration, they're saying that this is a very, very clear statement that Biden is making, that we are very open to negotiation and willing to rebring the deal. So this is a very good, this is a very, very good sign.
I think it is for everybody in the world. The Iranian dilemma is a stalemate for them. It won't go anywhere unless you broker a deal. And the reason is now the Iranians said that the enrichment they raised the enrichment to 20%, and pundits say, experts say, if you raise it to 20%, it's a matter of time only to reach the 90%, in which you can make a bomb, because now it's you have all the knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They say that the most difficult the phases are between 1, 5, and 20, but once you get to 20, it's a matter of time. So what do you have? Like, what are your options if you don't broker a deal? What are other options do you have? A war? A war? This is a world war. Hitting the Iranians is a world war. It's not only a regional war. I think it's like this is like the worst war we will ever see, like on this earth. So this is not an option. I don't think it's an
Yeah,
option.
I mean, it wouldn't be initiated by the United States. If anything, it would be initiated by Israel.
Yeah, but without the green light from the United States, it won't happen.
I don't know. With this administration, I don't know if they would seek green light from the United States exactly. They might put.
I mean, such a small operation as assassinating somebody, you have to coordinate the efforts and get the green lights. Now, talking about like hitting
Yeah,
Fordo, no, this is a big thing. They
yeah,
have to
for
get the
sure.
green light, otherwise
Yeah,
they have to.
that's
So,
true.
so there is no options but to negotiate with the Iranians. Now they can get probably a better deal
Hmm.
from the US and Israeli perspective. They may try to, yes, but there is no other option. The war is not an option.
Hmm.
Trump tried to put the maximum pressure. It didn't work. He saw that he's going to see the Iranians flooding into Afghanistan and Iraqis like the Venezuelans, which filled Latin America. But instead of doing that, the Iranians host the largest amount of refugees in the world, about 5 to 6 million refugees.
Hmm.
So the economic pressure didn't help. So there is no other options.
Right.
Now, in terms of the internal politics, how do you guys feel about him?
I mean, so far he's enacted like 34 executive orders in his first 2 weeks of office, which is ironically he has criticized Trump for doing so when Trump
Right.
did it.
Yeah.
But that's typical of American politics. It's only wrong if the other party does it. I think it's positive so far. We have, been. We don't have to wake up to crazy tweets every day. That's a relief. And it has been very, which is supposed to be normal, but because we've missed it for a while, it seems like a new thing. Just to have
Right.
some sort of a sanity and
Like a normal person in office, right? It's
right,
just a
yeah.
normal. Even if he's bad, but just normal. Normal bad
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah. Someone like with rationality and
Right.
very moderate statements and balanced statements. You know, of course, there's some people that say that the Democrats are always like more because they know how to talk and they know how to make things diplomatic, that
Right.
sometimes their danger is more
Right.
than those who don't know diplomacy.
Right.
So يعني مثل in Arabic we
Yeah.
say the killing with a cotton, right?
Right.
So that might be dangerous, but we haven't seen anything yet. We will see so far. I think the Iran deal is his first test. And if he doesn't do anything but fix what has the last 4 years has done, it's enough. Now he's busy with the coronavirus relief, which there's already like 10 Republicans against it. So he's gonna have some hard time passing that relief.
10 Republicans only, not Democrats.
Yeah, forget about Democrats. They're always with, but there's 10 Republicans that are against it.
Yeah.
Um that's just like people who announced that they're against it.
Yeah, but he's already had the majority, right, in the House
Well,
and
it's not. It's not. It hasn't gone to that level yet, but
right.
it doesn't look like it's going to pass if there is a strong opposition to it from the
All
Republican
right.
Party.
All right.
Some are pushing on the left. Some are pushing for a $2,000 a month relief.
Well, it is now 1,700, isn't it? Oh no, 17 only one time pay, correct?
Well, they
No.
paid the 600, and
All right.
now they're talking about the 2,000.
Okay.
And some
Monthly.
are some
Monthly.
some are talking about monthly
Oh.
payments,
Mm.
which is the closest you can get to UBI, Universal Basic Income,
Right.
which is inevitable. If
I know.
the word, if the word is to progress with all the technology, uh, this
I know
is
in
inevitable.
Ireland. In Ireland, they pay 350 a week, which is about 1,500 a month, dollars.
Mhm.
Uh, euro, not dollars. And in the UK, they pay you 80% of your last year taxes income.
Mhm.
80%. So you know that, and in Lebanon, there is now like a major, huge lockdown in Lebanon, and in Lebanon they just imitate the West with but they don't they
Yeah,
don't
they
provide
only.
any help.
You're right. They imitate it with the lockdown. They don't imitate it with help.
Exactly.
And
And now they
there's
promise about
protests really.
they protest in Tripoli they promised 400,000 liras, which is about $50. But that's only a promise. They've been talking about it for maybe a couple of months now.
Yeah, it won't happen. It won't
Fifty
happen.
dollars a household, and it's not even
Mm.
happening.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
gonna happen. There's no
and,
government now.
yeah,
It's
and
very
basically,
incompatible.
the people in Tripoli, they revolted against, because most of the Lebanese, they go outside, make their living daily. Like
Right.
many Lebanese do
Day
that.
to day,
So,
yes. They live
exactly.
day to day.
So if they stay home, then this is what they said, like clearly on the camera. They said we'd rather die from corona than to die from hunger.
Hunger.
So
True. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree
It's
with
the,
that.
the government is completely out of touch with people and in denial, and you can't do
The
lockdown
caretaker
when there's
government,
no
because there is no
social.
government. You're right.
Yeah, there's no social
Yeah,
system. I mean, there's not even electricity and internet, and then you lock people down in their houses. There's no welfare or social system. There's no
exactly,
hospitals.
exactly, exactly,
Nurses. The EMC, the emergency ambulances were treating patients outside because some hospitals are not equipped to handle coronavirus patients.
in
It's
Brazil,
ridiculous.
in Brazil, I saw a report today, and they said they're telling the parents of the coronavirus patients to go and fill the canister with oxygen on their own. Otherwise, their patient won't get any medical treatment. So, so
Wow.
they have to carry the canister and go find a station to fill it with oxygen. Yeah, uh, it's and in Lebanon, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Uh, it's not even funny to talk about it. I mean,
I know,
Lebanon
I know.
it's almost surreal that such a system exists.
شر البلية ما يضحك. I know.
Yeah.
But how do you think, like, this is some, like, there are some questions that are unanswered about
Hmm.
the corona, like a country like Yemen. Yemen only heard of corona. There is nothing going on in Yemen in terms of corona precautions or masks or social distancing. Nothing. And the rate of infected people, I think, it's either none or very, very, very low.
The
So
official. I mean, according to like the official data, okay, from the
right,
health, the HRW,
yeah,
the Human Rights Watch. There is 2,120 cases in Yemen.
200,000,
No, 2,000,
2,000. All right,
and 615 deaths.
okay,
That's cumulative, which is like one day in Michigan, you know.
wow,
So it's not so. It's either that the reporting is not, and also remember it's a country almost under lockdown, right?
yeah, but I think more studies should be conducted. I remember one incident I read once that during the World War II, a country in the Scandinavian, I believe it was Sweden or Finland, I'm not sure. They, during the German invasion, they saw the least rate of death in hospitals ever in the history, in the record history. Not related, of course, to injuries from the war.
Mm-hmm.
And the only explanation they offer is that probably when you eat less and you have less calorie intake, you live longer. And this is the only explanation. You know,
Right, because there
yeah,
was
it was.
lack of sugar.
So I
That's
think
basically
the
it.
same thing applies to Yemen. They're barely like eating.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, we don't
I
know.
don't know.
It's worth
Especially,
researching,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
it's
Especially now, there is another report about the lack of vitamin K will make you more susceptible to get the corona. There's a study about that.
this is the first time I
So I
hear
think
about
your
vitamin
health
K.
diet does really. Yeah, there is a. They say it is. Like you can find it in dairy products, meat. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think keeping a healthy diet. Look, I tell you from personal experience. My friend got the corona about a couple of weeks ago, and I was with him daily, nearly daily, and he stayed home for about 10 days, and he had all symptoms, all kinds of symptoms. I only got a little bit of a sore throat for a few hours, and probably half a degree of temperature, and that's it. But let me tell you something about me. I keep a very, 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 very healthy diet, like immaculate diet. I don't even eat anything that can harm you, even in the long run. So I think this has something to do with it. Even
Like
I'm
for
20,
example, what did you eat today?
a fruit shake. And let me tell you what I put in it: apple, pineapple, avocado, and a banana. That's it. And now it's
No.
5 o'clock almost.
Mm-hmm.
Only
That's it.
fruit
That's
shake.
all you ate.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
like 2 glasses,
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
4 little apples, like half a pineapple, one small avocado. But it's
Nice. Nice.
fulfilling, by the way.
Yeah, of
When you drink
course.
two glasses, it is fulfilling.
And the avocado, the oil in the avocado is very healthy, and the fat.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I try to keep a healthy diet, and I think this made Corona easy on me. Even I didn't take the test, but I think I got it from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Let me ask
Well,
you, Wesley,
I hope
about
that you stay. I hope that you stay
how's
safe.
it going so far? Because everybody's talking now about the impact.
Of what?
Right,
You're cutting off a little bit.
right. No, I'm saying the learning, long distance learning. Oh, okay, okay. Is it good
Uh,
now?
yeah. The long distance
Hello,
learning. Okay, so I don't have data
hello.
to support whether it had a negative impact, and how much
Right,
of the negative impact. This will need the data, and that will take some time to formulate this data.
right.
Uh, And but as far as parental satisfaction,
Yeah,
it is above 50%.
really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Like I know
Uh,
from my nephew, like he wakes up in the morning, goes to classes 8 to 1,
mhm.
and then does homework all afternoon. So yeah, there is. I mean, it is like
He's
school.
what is he? Is he sixth grade?
First in high school, first year,
Oh, really? Wow.
junior.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Time goes fast, isn't it? So is
already.
he?
Huh?
So I thought he's younger than Reem. I don't know.
No,
No,
he's
he's older
14
than Reem.
almost.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah. That's
14.
right. Oh my God, I haven't seen him for a while. I haven't seen
Maybe.
him for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Um,
he grew 4 years in these couple of years.
yeah. So, but he's still so innocent, by the way.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you ask him, I'm 100% sure he'll tell you he prefers virtual.
Right,
Right? Yeah,
right.
100%.
But the thing I don't understand when he tells me, I don't want to ask him because I don't want to sound ignorant. When he tells me I have a gym session, what do you do in gym virtually?
Yeah, the teacher, I don't know for the older kids, but the younger ones, yani, they have to do certain activities in home.
Like,
The in home exercises has gone up. It has like you can exercise without any equipment at home. All of a
right,
sudden, people discovered that, and
right.
it has really hit gyms, which I'm very happy for.
No,
So
right,
yeah, so going forward, Willie, just to yani, on the long run, it seems that we are moving ahead to universal basic income, something that people have talked about since the 70s, and one of the most important thinkers of our time, Noah Oval Harari. He's in his book *Sapiens* and his book *Homo Deus*. He speaks about that technology will replace a lot of the workforce, and we will have nothing but to rely on universal basic income for to just preserve common status quo of living among people.
right,
Technology will remove a lot of jobs, and if you think about it, governments spend. If you take all the spending on everything that is done to support people, from Veterans Affairs to Medicare to Social Security to all these, to welfare, to food stamp system, to all the systems that are in place that has huge budgets, and that also has a lot of administrative costs, right?
right,
If you remove all that, because sending $2,000 checks to people
right,
uh, does not take much administrative work. So if
right,
you remove all these costs, and I've done it before, I've written a post about a couple of years ago, and I've shown how it's exactly equal. If you remove all that, it's equal to UBI, Universal Basic Income, of something considerable like $2,000 a month, and I propose to have it incremental. So it starts at a lower amount when you're younger, and then it goes up. It maximizes in your 40s and 50s, and then it starts going down, just because you need it the most when you are having a big family. So I know I'm totally conservative. I lean toward Republicans when it comes to fiscal policy. I'm totally not socialist. I'm anti-socialist. I'm 100% capitalist. I believe in trickle down economy. So I'm speaking from that perspective. I'm not even speaking from social. I'm against socialism. I'm against
but
hanging
you voted
people.
for Sanders.
Sanders only before foreign policy. I'm totally against his fiscal policy.
All right.
But I'm with UBI with canceling all the other help, with no social security, with no Medicare, with no Medicaid, with no welfare, with nothing. Don't give people anything. No federal help for students. What do you call it? The financial aid for
Right.
students. Nothing. Remove all the help from people, and just give everyone, even the billionaire, even Bill Gates, give him $2,000 a month. You give everyone $2,000 a month, and this will be the same cost as everything else, and people will have to budget and manage themselves. Okay.
Mm.
It's basically an economic theory of
Right.
just switching and being more efficient. And also it accommodates the future, because in the future, all these jobs that you see will go away, man. I posted before on my Facebook account, I posted how many industries will disappear just by
Yeah, but is
creating
that good? But is that good?
an electric
It,
car.
yeah, but does not this hold the economic wheel of the society more or less?
What do you mean? The
You will see less
economic wheel?
jobs. Yeah.
Well, a person with $2,000 a month cannot really achieve big dreams.
Right.
So if you want to dream and live a better life and travel, then you need to find the entrepreneurial opportunities
Mm.
and better jobs. Yeah. But
Okay.
at least there is a net. So everyone basically has they have all their, economic power to survive and to even grow, right?
Hmm.
Now you tell me, what happens if a person, for example, has an addiction problem, and they take the $2,000 and they become alcoholic, or they buy drugs? I say allow assisted suicide. Allow for, like, don't provide,
Or kill the bastard.
criminalize criminalize homelessness at that point.
Uh, all right.
And
Or
yeah,
criminalize the sale of alcohol.
and also, like, make it more strict, make it so much more strict. I think if a person goes hospitalized once for alcohol, he should never be allowed to take alcohol again. I think that alcohol should be like prescription, that you can only be licensed to take it.
Mm.
And then also drugs. If first of all, I am with the legalization of drugs.
Hmm.
And if you take it under very,
You mean marijuana, not all drugs, of
no, all
course.
drugs,
All
all
drugs,
drugs, be
cocaine and
highly,
heroin and everything,
everything very
and
highly
meds and
yeah, but very, it's not, you see, the reason there is cocaine
uh,
and heroin and meth is because it is illegal. If it was legal, these substances will be advanced into really advanced kind of substances that have less harm and give you the same alternative. I mean, right now, mushrooms, for example, which is totally natural, gives you a wide area of experience, and it is starting to be legalized. The
mushroom,
more legalized are
the regular
mushroom.
mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not the regular mushroom.
What mushroom?
I mean, it is a type of mushroom, but it gives you a very LSD experience.
Is it a drug? Is it a drug called mushroom?
It is natural mushrooms, but that induces
Right, right.
hallucinations and certain
Okay.
level of type of high. I mean, there is a lot of talk about this. What I'm saying is, drugs as we know it today, it is the way it is today because it has evolved within a criminalized and a highly return on investment environment. Okay, if you remove these factors, it will totally evolve in a different way.
So you think
And
that people are rational enough that if you legalize these drugs, they will consume it moderately? Do you think we
no,
are as a
no. So if a person gets an overdose, or if the person gets, for example, he has to be prescribed. So there's a doctor who supervises these recreational clinics, and he assigns you something. And
right?
then let's say you get assigned this for, and I would be personally, I am personally, me, I don't even smoke. I'm against I'm against
You don't
any.
even chew gums.
I don't even chew gum. I'm against caffeine. I think the addiction to caffeine is a negative thing. I'm
Right,
against introducing any chemical into the body that
right.
has an influence on your emotions more
Right.
than what you have evolved biologically to handle.
Right.
That includes caffeine, that includes high level of sugar, that includes, you know, anything like that.
Having said
I
that,
to translate that, I'm against any more than 100 nanograms per centimeter cube of what do you call it, the happiness hormone inside your blood.
yeah,
uh,
if, I forgot.
I forgot, but anyway, I'm
Effie,
against, I'm,
Effie.
I'm with regulating the level of endorphins in your blood, where if it naturally cannot go over 97 nanograms per centimeter cube, then we should not induce more than that. Anything that induces more happiness than that level, I am against. Okay, but having said that, most humans are stupid. Okay,
Right.
we have to cut this. Uh,
Okay.
I mean, most humans, they don't even have any rationality. Like
Right.
marijuana gives you about 800 nanograms per centimeter cube of that hormone in your blood. It totally distorts your expectation of life and your expectation of happiness, and it's gonna eventually distort your social relations and anything that naturally brings you happiness in life. And other drugs are disastrous. Now there are certain drugs, hallucinatory drugs, that gives you like a hallucination experience that does not really have any negative long-lasting results, like LSDs and mushrooms. And people talk about micro dosing,
Hmm.
I'm totally with science, whatever it is. And because people can make stupid decisions, okay, let them do stupid decisions, but let it be regulated. So a
Right.
doctor prescribes you, and if you overdo it, you get prevented. You get this license taken out from you, and then highly criminalize breaking these rules. And at the same time, allow for, the basic thing is you're giving more responsibility to humans and less responsibility to governments, and you're creating the path for humans to take responsibility of cleansing themselves or ending their lives, either one. uh,
Yeah, but like, what's, for instance, what's the purpose of legalizing heroin if it is like its health impact is catastrophic and it
that's
will
what I'm
only give
saying.
you.
The only reason that heroin is because it is illegal. If there was a system of legalizing, this will be developed in a way that there are alternatives to heroin that gives you the same effect to heroin
Mm,
that an anesthesian doctor can give you,
right.
like the types that Michael Jackson was taking. It's not
Right.
heroin, but he had a doctor with him, injecting him with those uh, every once in a while.
Yeah,
So
and he developed an addiction.
he developed an addiction. It's the fault of the doctor, and the doctor was sued. But the
So you
doctor
think
was basically an employee. The doctor had no authority over Michael Jackson. He was an employee for Michael Jackson. But if he had an authority and he would tell him, no, you can't have that, then it would have been prevented. I mean, I'm against it personally, but I'm saying that you cannot take the freedom of people to choose that. Like, look, if something is done by more than 90% of people, you have to change your expectations. You know,
I see. Legalizing marijuana was bad enough. Now legalizing heroin and cocaine. Oh
I
my
mean,
god!
even saying bad enough. How do you say bad enough? How do you, like
Because I
Denver
know
has?
people personally now who just go and buy it and come and consume it every single day.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they
exactly,
did that even before it was legalized. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
I'm totally against it. Like personally, I'm totally against the use of all drugs. Even if it's legalized, I'm totally against it. I'm totally against smoking, totally against hookah. I told you I'm even totally against
Yeah,
caffeine.
yeah. You're just laying solutions for the society. Not you're not talking for
Yeah,
a
I
person.
think UBI, universal basic income with legal, like, solving all these problems from the roots.
Right.
If you take the money that's spent on incarceration, portion of the money that's spent on defense, the portion of the money that's spent on policing. All this is actually, you're dealing with the results of
Right.
the main problem. The main problem is lack of money, lack of education, lack of social systems. That's why drugs come about. Portugal, they've solved, not Portugal. What is the country that sounds like Portugal in South America?
Peru?
No, it is Portugal, right?
Portugal is not South America. Portugal is in
في
Europe.
البرتغال وفي دولة بجنوب أمريكا شو اسمها؟ Paraguay.
Uh-huh.
They have not Paraguay, actually Portugal and Europe. They have resolved the issue of drug use by legalizing drug use and investing into social solutions. So they have very strong rehab programs and social engagement. So they basically make the person social and
And the laws about using drugs are more relaxed in
are more
Portugal?
relaxed. Yes.
Okay.
And there is a TED talk about that.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so we need really, there is an innovative and root solutions for a lot of the problems, and comprehensive, holistic, right? Because everything is connected. The problem is that specialization in the 20th century and 21st century made us sometimes see things separate, but everything is connected and related.
Right.
And you know that, and Islam knows that.
Well, I mean, if you apply the rule that كل ما يذهب العقل فهو حرام, you don't have much margin in legalizing anything that affects your rationale, your mind.
Even that statement, I mean, itself, I mean, there is sometimes read the Quran يذهب العقل, right? Sometimes a very لطمية تذهب العقل.
I agree with the latmiye. I agree with that part.
No, I mean, like what the Sufis try to do, right?
Yeah.
يعني you go to a level of ecstasy or.
Yeah. Let me tell you quickly what was going on in Europe in terms of fighting over the vaccine. Quickly in a minute, the AstraZeneca is a company. It's a British and Swedish company, but it has factories in Netherlands and in Belgium. And after the Brexit, since it's owned mainly by Britain, now the factories which are producing this vaccine in Europe, right, are exporting this vaccine to the UK. And in the last couple of days, there was a problem in production, correct? And they said we're going to produce 60% less vaccine to Europe than expected. Let me give you an example. Bulgaria said, if we go in this rate, we will get everybody vaccinated in 2040. This is only an example. So the EU, since they said there is 60% less production, but yet the export of the vaccine from Europe, from the European companies, factories, to the UK didn't get affected, right? And the EU didn't like that. And they triggered something that's called Article 16 yesterday, which prevents the vaccine from going from the Republic of Ireland to Northern Ireland, which is the UK. And this made a row, like some scuffle between the EU and the UK. And they had only just gotten out only like a couple of months ago. And the problems had just started over the vaccine. So this is I thought that was worth mentioning.
Interesting. So with that, Willie, maybe we can end it at 48 minutes today. And
it was always amusing and benefiting talking to you, Wesley.
Thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day, wherever you are. It looks beautiful.
Same to you. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who listened or will listen to it.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.